Well, I want to give you some information here. Basically, something I said before, and it looks like it's playing out exactly like they planned it to. Because now this is my own thought, but it was not something that was too hard to figure out. Because I figured that the oil prices were being manipulated down to basically crush Russia's economy because of what Vladimir Putin is doing to Ukraine and all that type of stuff. What he did with Crimea, and it looks like it's playing out. So big time, big time. So what's going on is the Russia's finance minister said just this past Tuesday, and today is October 10th, 2014. This is Friday. So just this past Tuesday, that Russia could no longer afford multi-billion-dollar revamp of its armed forces approved by President Vladimir Putin. So because of all the sanctions, but it's not just the sanctions; it's also their export economy, which is mainly oil. So they're going to have to cut back on their military spending. So this is all exactly like what happened basically when the Soviet Union fell apart. Not to say that Russia is going to fall apart or something, but it's just going to cause them not to be able to do all this military spending. Now, if you look at the price of oil, it's down to about $85 on a WTI, West Texas. Now, if it gets much lower than that, actually in this range, it's starting to hurt. Well, I guess anything hurts. I mean, the higher it is, the more money they make, right? But it's actually it's getting almost to where it's going to be hurting the U.S. oil production in like North Dakota to Texas and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania actually has a lot of oil coming on board. But, the main thing, I always figured this deal was to punish Russia because there's been ongoing lawsuits about the manipulation of the oil markets and commodities markets, too, since 2000 by very important people, including the former head of the NYMEX. It's not like, conspiracy 101 stuff. It's stuff. But it's like, there really is some manipulation goes on in that oil market. I don't know how they do it. I mean, the computers they got today are so ridiculously good that, now, I wouldn't even know if they're using quantum computers, for all I know. But, there's also a limitation on what the hell they can manipulate. That's the other thing. And actually, I got to state something with this deal. Just knowing a little bit what I think I know about the psyche of Vladimir Putin. Actually, in a lot of ways, I kind of do respect the guy. But he's kind of like insulated and does not have this balanced life experience, considering he was always in the KGB. That's what's really wrong with him. That's why I think he's very dangerous. He doesn't have like a balanced life experience, being that he was in the KGB. Just to put it freaking really nicely. So if he's actually put his back to the wall, it makes me wonder what he would do. It's almost like you're trying to punish somebody. And somebody goes, screw it. You're getting it, baby. You know what I mean? Right between the eyes, So maybe that's what he's going to do. Maybe that's what he'll do. Maybe all this sanction stuff is going to lead to World War III one way or the other. I don't know. I'm not playing fearmonger here, but I'm kind of like getting a little bit into the psyche of Vladimir Putin. But they really said the new defense program that they're trying to prepare now for Russia, they have to reconsider the amount of resources that will be spent in the budget in order to make it more realistic. That's according not to the Western propagandists, like some people like to say. That's actually according to the Russia's finance minister. He's telling Vladimir Putin, we can't do it, man. No, sorry. Now, what they could do in Russia, and this is what I would advocate, because I'm for freedom of all peoples. What they could do, besides, just, spending money on all this hardware and all this military stuff. Now, an individual wouldn't need a tank, to defend their home or hunt for deer or something like that, or out there on the range to feed their family. And actually, I know a lot of people don't like that stuff about hunting deer, but actually, if you think about it, just to ad lib here a little bit, deer can actually be very, very damaging to the ecological system if they get too abundant. They eat up all the tree bark, and it kills off all the trees, which causes erosion, which kills off other animals. So, there's a balance. Even the wolf has to eat, and that's even sometimes, because I know there's anti-hunters out there too. just to give it to you like that, because it depends on how you do it, man. Depends on how you do it. But anyway, I'd be all for the individual arming of all the Russians with AK-47s. Now here's a woman Russian army soldier. She's making sure her AK-47 works good, and it looks like she's got a laser sight on it. And that might be a good thing, because maybe one day she'll knock off one of those oligarchs that's one of them child molesters or some stuff, because I think those guys up in Russia are a bunch of freaks. You know what I mean? They really are. They're bad news. They're bad news. Oh, by the way, I just want to interject something here, too, because we're talking about oil in Russia and, the Western elite and I know the Western elite are evil, but the Russian elite, I don't want to say that Russia's more evil than the United States. I don't think that's the case, per se. I think their system is more totalitarian in the United States still, even though we're moving more towards socialism, okay? But I think one thing they could do to shore up this defense budget is to give everybody an AK-47 Kalashnikov rifle, and this way it'll kind of balance the power with the oligarchs, getting 110 oligarchs getting 35% of the wealth. Now, I want to state this, though, about this deal with the oil, again, because a lot of it's implying that, I just want to state some of this stuff about the oil for the $85 and another interject something else here, because I want to go back to some of those predictions of Pastor Lindsey Williams, man. But how he was saying things way back when, and just interject this in here. Lindsey Williams, U.S. NATO to incite Iranian war by September, October of 2012. By the end of 2012, all private fortunes will be lost that are secured with paper. And he was saying that at the beginning, of 2012. Okay? Lindsey Williams, the elite speak, the dollar will be devalued by 30 to 50% in the next 12 months. That was December 27, 2010. Now look what's going on to the U.S. dollar. It's on a tear. Now, not to say that, I got to tell you this. The elite and the whole power structure in the United States got their money wrapped up in U.S. dollars. Not that I think it's going to start going down. It's like its normal cycles. It's hit a height again, and it may start going down, and we might see the oil prices go back up. But if Putin gets in enough political trouble over there in Russia, and he gets replaced, boy, that'd be the dollar. I think the oil will go way up, to tell you the truth. But, Lindsey Williams returns. Get ready for $150 a barrel oil. Mr. X revealed November 6, 2010. Actually, we're supposed to be $150 to $200 a barrel oil, definitely by October 2011. Lindsey Williams on Alex Jones TV. Lindsey talks with Insider Elite again on February 24th, 2010, about the future of America and the monetary system, the globalist plans for the rest of the world. The dollar would be dead by 2012, and he said this on February 26, 2010. This is all according to his inside guy. Now, what's going on with the dollar? It looks like it's strong. It looks like oil prices are cheap. It looks like they're half of what he said. But that does not mean it's going to... But I just want to tell you that, things can change here in the future. And, it may turn out that the dollar is probably going to get weaker. I mean, it's not going to go like what he's telling you. But it's hit a very strong, it's got its third peak, basically, over the last several years. So it may come down again, but it doesn't mean it's going to nothing, like with or 30 to 40% or something. But anyway, I don't want to actually make this video into something like an U.S. versus Russia video. And I just want to point to you some common sense things. The elite in the West are pissed off at Vladimir Putin about the Ukraine deal. They're trying to put the noose around his neck financially, not militarily per se, and have him see the light. So, I know a lot of times every time I put a video out about Russia or something, it's automatically, oh, you're Obama. He ain't my Obama, man. He's just somebody who's in there. He's elected by the people of the United States. He's not my Obama, man. He's not my God. And if you think Vladimir Putin's your God, you got a problem, man. So anyway, I'm not trying to make this into an antagonistic video or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell you that there's been a lot of failed predictions in the past. I made failed predictions, but I'm not telling you I got it from my elite guy and $95 DVDs and stuff like that, and praise the Lord, and I'm going to save your dinner table. I'm just actually going by to what looks to be the trends at the time because of, if there was a problem with, George Soros putting shorts on the markets or something, you're thinking, when's it going to come about? Well, it's starting to come about now. But I guess I was correct about what they're doing with oil and why they're doing it. And that was my own thoughts, not from anybody else. So they are trying to hurt the Russian military. But I think the Russian military's got some really nice, cool people in there. And let's hope they don't get hurt too much. Peace, love, and good harmony to all you girls and everybody out there. And, try to, slap some oligarchs upside the head. And maybe you can get some of that change out of their pocket and get it into the people of Russia so they got some money to spend and have some fun and get your domestic economy going again. The oil prices are cheap. That means everybody should be able to afford a car and be able to drive it in Russia. So I'll just leave you with that thought and, whatever. I mean, all these elitists are a pile of bull crap. That's got to tell you that, no matter where they come from, U.S. or Russia. But here in the U.S., we actually got a lot more tools to fix the situation, as long as we don't have a bunch of giddy minds getting behind these freaking drama freaks trying to scare the hell out of you every day, and I'm not going to be doing that deal. I notice the more dramatic videos I put out, the more hits I get, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I am not doing that stuff. I'm not doing that stuff. I try not to anyway. But, I don't know, just the way it goes, man. Anyway, over and out. Looks like the Russian military is getting squeezed. I'd like to squeeze some of the Russian military myself. They look pretty nice. And, it's like, if they can't afford the arms, they ought to just arm the people, man. They just ought to arm the people. What the hell, right? Have some Kalashnikovs and, go shoot some child molesters or something, What the hell, right? Do some good for the country, clean up the freaking mess, and get rid of the scum on the top and let the people have the power. There you go, right? So, just thinking common sense here.